Hey everybody, just came out to lube the chain. Did about 100 and something kilometers today, and I forgot to lube the chain on the Grom, so I got to get that done. But I also wanted to talk about some things that are coming up on the Grom. I picked this up last week with 18 kilometers on it, got a great deal, 2023, and I've already ordered a bunch of stuff for it, some mods, so let's get into that. And also, I'll give you the list of the things that I have coming up and how I want to group them together. And if you've got any questions or any priorities or preference of things that you'd like to see, let me know down in the comments. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and get on board, and I'll walk you through what we're going to do with this 2023. Now let me take you for a quick walk around the bike as it is, and give you some idea of the stuff that's upcoming. So here she is in all her glory. Also my CRF 300 L Rally. This is kind of my main bike, and I got the Grom because I didn't want to be wearing the knobs off of this too quickly to go adventuring and exploring around. So the Grom is kind of my urban, also country because I'm not in a big city, my adventure vehicle to go around on regular roads, and I've even done a little bit of gravel with it so far. I picked it up, like I said, last week with 18 kilometers on it, and now it's sitting here with 561. So I've ridden it a little bit. So far it's great. It is an absolute giggle. It's a lot of fun. Just did a couple basic things, like took the strap off the seat. Did the same thing with the 300. It's supposed to have a strap across here, but as you move around a lot on the 300, you'll see that it's actually a little bit discolored, the seat here. So the strap would be right in the middle of where my butt goes as I move around. I thought maybe the same thing would happen on the Grom, so I just took it off. It's just 2 bolts underneath. Did have to spacer them, but the bike itself is basically dead stock. We'll go through some of the mods I want to do to it. In fact, let's just get into that now. So some of the first things I want to do, you can see there's a quad lock on it. I borrowed that one from the 300, but there's a new one coming, and I'll do a video on that. I also have a USB outlet. It's over here, and apparently this one switches itself off. So not only are we going to install this and put it in a nice tidy place so we can put a cable to charge the phone, because I use the phone as my GPS when I go tracking around. I also want to be able to not affect the battery. So theoretically this one, when you unplug it, it doesn't keep discharging the battery. We'll check that and make sure that that's working as it's supposed to. It's going to get bar end mirrors because these Mickey Mouse ears are pretty useless. I'm not a very big guy. I stand about 6 feet tall, and I weigh about 190 pounds, and I don't have very broad shoulders. But when I'm sitting on the bike, I'm not sure if you can see properly in the mirror, but I have to move my arm in all the time just to be able to look behind, because you're looking at the crutch of your elbow. So they're pretty useless things. It's going to get bar end mirrors. I've already pulled the caps off. These ones actually come off pretty easy. I'll show you how I did it. They're tight as hell, but I didn't have to fight or drill them off. So that's good news. It's also going to get a quick throttle. I have it right here. I'm just waiting on the grips coming, and I'll put that on. I've already done a test run with it, and it goes really good. I haven't ridden it, but the test fit was great, but I'll do a full video on that. I'm going to get rid of the whale tail. It's going to get a TST tail tidy, but it was super easy to do on the 300 because it's just a bracket that fits underneath, so it wasn't too bad. The lights all stay there, but when you take it off, you have to decide what you're going to do for your indicators. And while I was doing the rears, I got the ones for the front as well. So that's going to be a TST with LED indicators. I'm not going to do little pods. I'm going to do the longer bars. A little bit different on the front, sequentials and straights at the rear. Sequentials with running lights. So let's see how those go. As far as the engine stuff, the engine itself, I'm not planning on touching anything for the short term, but I am going to put the Decha tube on the intake, because when you look down inside of there, this tube is absolutely minuscule. So let's get some more air into this. We did that on the 300s, and that really helped a lot. Give a lot better throttle response. So let's see how that does. I'm also going to modify the air cover. I love the idea of the TST one, but I plan on riding this thing in all kinds of weather, even through the winter. And to have this open right here scared me a little bit, so I've done a custom mod for there, and I'll get into that when I put the Decha tube in, and I'll explain all of that. What else are we doing? Oh, it's going to get an exhaust. I have a high mount coming for it, and we're just going to go through this little hole right in here. Come up. Hopefully it matches well with the turn signals, the rear turn signals I'm getting, and I'm guessing that all of that might look pretty good together. So there's that. And then the last thing, as always, is as often recommended, is to change out the tires. Like I said, I'm going to ride this thing coming into its coming end of September here, and I plan on riding this thing through October and December here. October, November, and December, and into the early part of winter. So let's see, as I put tires that are a little bit more wet oriented, and they call them 4 seasons, but let's see if they're the 4th season is a real Canadian winter season. And those are going to be Heidenau K66s, so those are on their way as well. And let me know if there's anything that you'd like to see in a priority, and I can swap around whatever order of doing things. But some of the stuff will be here tomorrow. Some of them are going to be short and easy things to do. Others, like the intake, is going to be a little bit longer because I already think that there's something I want to do extra inside of there. And also the airbox cover mod that I'll go over as well. So lots of stuff. Let me know what you want to see, the order you want to see it, any comments on any of the things, let me know. And I'll be happy to add that into the videos and see if we can all learn something from this. And one last thing, I knew I forgot something. There'll be TST adjusters, chain adjusters, to remove the stock pieces, and I've also ordered quick lifts, so I'm excited to see how those spools on the TST chain adjusters work, the spools for the lift, and how to do a quick lift at the front. It's something I've never done before, so those two pieces will be reviewed together as well. So I'll also put a link to in the description. I'll put the list of mods, so it's maybe just a little bit clearer, and how I'm intending on grouping them, and maybe you can ask the questions based on that. All right, thanks.